Yeah. So Brian, really quick, on this next one, click on the app for it because it's take just a second to load up. So that's it for our main items. I want to tell you about a couple of things. Then we'll get to yours as well. First, one of the features that I really like about Visual Studio Code, I haven't really used because I don't use Visual Studio Code in like a meaningful way. I use it all the time for like little bits of editing, but not if I'm like doing real projects. I'll probably use PyCharm. But it has live share, which is a pretty killer feature. So you can say, I would like to share my coding environment with someone else who's going to like look over my shoulder, do paired programming, just code review, whatever, and they can actually debug and step through and like see your code in their editor. And it could even be like a different editor. I think there's other stuff supported like proper Visual Studio versus VS Code and whatnot. So that's really cool. And I've always thought like, well, that would be awesome for PyCharm, but no. So someone on Twitter, sorry, I don't remember who sent this to me, but thank you, sent up this link to this project called Code Together. So Code Together is a freemium product. So this is not an open source thing. It's like a paid project. You can go sign up, pay $8 a month for certain features, or you can just use the free version. But it has that type of experience that I just talked about, but for many different editors, right? So it comes for all the IntelliJ stuff. So like WebStorm, PyCharm, and so on. Also works with VS Code. It works with other things. I don't know exactly all the things that it covers, but certainly Eclipse, IntelliJ, and VS Code, which covers quite a bit. So if you were looking for that and you weren't using LiveShare, because it didn't exist for what you're doing, you could check this out. I have not used it. I'm not endorsing it. I'm just saying it looks interesting and it might help people.
Oh, neat. Cool.
Yeah. Cool. And then the other one that I want to just quickly mention is related to the first thing. These are, totally different things. But Kevin Vanderveen sent over a message a week ago and said, hey, I built a cool data explorer to help you understand the whole COVID pandemic stuff in a local way. And he built it using Streamlet. So I thought, hey, here's an app that someone just sent over that's like a cool running on Heroku Streamlet app. That would be a nice example of what I talked about at the beginning. And it also has the GitHub repo there as well. So if you go and check out that app, like for example, Brian, you scroll down to the third graph. Below the third graph, there's like a drop down that lets you pick Oregon. And you can go pick that, and wow, it looks like we're flattening the curve really well. That's pretty awesome, although the last 2 days have been rough, I guess. Or you can go down a little farther and compare it against different states. So you could go in there and type like, it's Colorado, you could type Oregon or New York or whatever you want, and then it'll like auto-complete that out of the list and then regenerate. And this is exactly like what I was saying. Like there's some line in the Streamlet code that's just saying, get the tags from the tag selector. And then if you type in there, it just reruns the whole thing, but most of the stuff's cached, and then it'll redraw the graph. It's super cool. So this is both useful, I think, for if you want to try to like understand that. It's a cool data science project. The source is on GitHub, but also it's just a cool example of Streamlet if people want to see that going.
And the graphs are fun too, because you can do like box select and zoom in.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure those are, these are just Plotly. So they do all the standard Plotly stuff, which is pretty cool. Right. That's kind of what I like about the Streamlet thing, not forcing you to use their random graphing thing, but just other graphs that you might like. Yeah. All right. Well, that's it for my extras. What else do you got?
Well, I wanted to remind people that PyCon 2020 online is available, and new content is still being posted through the first few weeks of May. I think that's when they're wrapping things up.
Yeah, that's cool. I just saw some new videos go up there. Yeah.
Yeah, there. One of the new videos that just came up was my talk. So multiply your testing effectiveness with parameterized testing. Oh
yeah, there it is, right at the bottom with a couple of new tags on it.
Yep. So nice. It's very. I'm excited to have people get feedback from people and see what they thought. So
it looks good. I like it. Yeah, well done.
And then while I was there, I was looking around. There's tons of great talks. The tutorial, there's a bunch of tutorials there. There's Charla's. Is that new this year? I don't know.
They did it last year, maybe the last 2 years, but it's the Spanish language track.
Yeah, it's neat. I'm glad they're doing it. Sponsor workshops, that's kind of nice to have. And then even an online poster hall, so that's there. So it's cool. The other thing I wanted to bring up, quick extra, if anybody's following the drama in PyTest, the drama is over, and I think I'm happy with the resolution. So hopefully there will be peace in the family. So anyway, I put a link to the Twitter announcement from PyTest.
Yeah, they got the whole public statement there. So the folks who had dropped out, are they dropping back in, or is there just permanent fallout from that?
I don't know any more details. I know at least one person is back in, but all the people I was worried about are signers of this message. So
so probably
kind of seems like maybe they're back in.
Yeah. All right, well, that's awesome. I'm really glad to hear that got resolved, and it sounds like exactly the outcome that I would have voted for as well. Okay, so you ready for some jokes? I don't know, these jokes. How about you? Are you ready for humor?
Yes, humor is good.
Humor is definitely good. And so I found a couple of funny pictures, and I'm going to put the pictures in the show notes. I don't know if they'll come up in your podcast players. Some of them do, some of them don't. Some of you got to say allow pictures in this podcast feed, just like in the player as you're looking at the show notes. But certainly on the website, they'll be there. And these are O'Reilly book covers.
I love these.
They're like O'Reilly, and just if you've forgotten, the O'Reilly books always have the title, and then they have an animal that goes with it, right? So if you wrote a book for O'Reilly, the thing is like, what's your animal on your book and whatnot.
Yeah.
So these are like, take those ideas, put an animal on it, but make it silly. Right?
Yep. And there's also
go ahead.
There's also usually like some sort of saying at the top of the book. So for these, you definitely have to read the top also.
Yeah. It's right. Like sort of the subtitle. Okay. So how about this? I'll read the first one, you do the second one, and so on. So this one has like a badger or something on it, on the front of it, and it's kind of like sneaky, head down. And the title is Pointless Meetings, the Survival Guide. How to Survive All Pointless Meetings. I feel like many things that used to be meetings these days are now an email. And people are like, oh my gosh, they really can just be emails. Like, why have we been going to all these meetings, right?
Yeah.
So, all right, you want to get the next one?
Next one is overwriting your teammates' code. My code is better than yours anyway. I like it. It's got a horse on the front. I don't know what the horse says.
I don't know either.
It's good.
I really love this one. This one is the essential semicolon parenthesis, quote semicolon parenthesis drop table animals semicolon dash. And there's no animal because, well, this is a SQL injection that has deleted it. And it says now with user generated content.
That
one's
now
that may be the best.
Hole.
Exactly. Related, what's next?
Okay, this one has a fish on the cover. Expert hoping nobody hacks you. Security by optimism and prayer.
I don't know what the fish has to do with it. I must be missing it.
No, but that's good. That's most people's security solution, right?
I bet that's true. So the next one is an octopus. Obviously, many legs that can type many things. And the title of the entire book is Exiting Vim Eventually. Just memorize the 14 contextual dependent instructions.
Exiting Vim eventually. Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Good. I love it. Yeah. So you'll have to visit the website and check out these because they're pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Awesome. Speaking of sweet, it's been great to be here with you, Brian. Thanks.
It's been great. Thanks.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for watching this segment of the Python Bytes podcast. This video was made during the recording of the full episode. Visit pythonbytes.fm and get the whole story. Subscribe to the podcast and get the entire episode delivered to your phone. Please support our work by taking one of the courses at pythonbytes.fm/courses or learning PyTest with Brian's book at pythonbytes.fm/PyTest. Finally, visit our sponsor shown on the screen here. Visit the link on the screen and get the special offer for Python Bytes and YouTube listeners. Thanks, and have a great rest of your day.